Graham Potter's words on his Brighton return. Graham Potter held his pre-match press conference this afternoon, speaking about his return to his former side. Potter admitted that the vacant Chelsea job was not something he could ignore despite the timing of Chelsea approaching him to take it. The timing wasn't great for anybody, but sometimes that happens. Then it's a decision, and the decision to work here was too hard to turn down. Most of the people I've spoken to from Brighton have been supported and thankful. The boss spoke on tomorrow's matchup and says that despite being familiar with his former players, the side being under new management means the game won't be easy, while recent performances haven't rewarded them with the right results. Roberto has been there a few weeks now, you can see the differences. Whilst I know the players well, it's a new manager and new ideas. They've been unlucky, their performances have been good. They haven't had too much luck from what I've seen. I know the qualities of the team. Despite 15th and 16th placed finishes in his first 2 seasons at the club, Potter's 3 years at Brighton was seen as a huge success as he created an entertaining, tough-to-beat team, and he says he is very much looking forward to a return to the seaside. They're a great bunch of lads with top staff. I enjoyed my time there. It's going to be very difficult tomorrow. Roberto De Zerbi will be looking for his first win with Brighton tomorrow, while Potter will want to make it 10 games unbeaten as Blues boss. Chelsea hopeful of signing Christopher Nkunku before the World Cup. Christopher Nkunku is moving closer and closer to becoming a Chelsea player, and the club are almost certain they have their man at this stage. Fabrizio Romano reported 2 days ago that all that was left was the final details and the clubs fully agreeing a deal, and then it can be completed. Reports are now suggesting they expect the deal to be done before the World Cup begins in the next 2.5 weeks. Chelsea are pushing for the deal to be done in January, with the player joining then, as opposed to next summer. According to Graham Bailey of 90 Minutes, Chelsea are progressing well in terms of the talks for Christopher Nkunku, and they hope to have the deal wrapped up before the World Cup starts in the next 2.5 weeks. Chelsea are keen on Nkunku, and want the deal done before any sort of competition can swoop in and take him away. PSG have interest in a reunion, but Chelsea are really advanced in negotiations. Nkunku has completed a medical and verbally agreed to personal terms on the deal, and all that's left is the details between the clubs. Leipzig are prepared to let Nkunku leave. Chelsea are pushing, and the deal is not far away from being done. Nkunku is likely to be a Blue before he boards the plane to Qatar. Chelsea have not given up on Arsen Zakarian. We are still a ways away from the opening of the January transfer window, but that has not stopped rumours regarding Chelsea targets from circulating. The latest are surrounding Dynamo Moscow midfielder Arsen Zakarian. Under their new ownership spearheaded by Todd Boehly, the Blues have taken to targeting more youth prospects, including Zakharyan himself over the summer. According to Ben Jacobs, there is still interest in the Russian. Jacobs states that the Blues have not given up in their pursuit of the midfielder and are now prepared to pay his release clause to secure his signature. Despite this willingness, some things are holding up a transfer. FIFA and UEFA rules state that, due to the current conflict in Ukraine, Chelsea and other clubs cannot pay a transfer fee to any Russian club. This plus issues securing a work permit in England are casting doubt on the 19-year-old making a move to Stamford Bridge. There has not been any recent progress regarding a January transfer. Chelsea have explored all possible options, such as having Zakharyan change his citizenship to Armenia, but none so far have come off, again casting doubt on the feasibility of this transfer in the near future. Chelsea midfielder N'Golo Kante is reportedly a top target for Barcelona. Chelsea are prepared to let N'Golo Kante leave the club next summer when his contract runs out in June, and with that comes a lot of interest in the player as a free agent. The Blues do not see much value in keeping Kante around the club due to his age and injury record, but certain clubs in Europe do, especially a club who have previously stated they will look for the free agent market next summer. Barcelona have an interest in N'Golo Kante, and have him as a priority target for next summer. According to Spanish publication Revelo, Barcelona have identified N'Golo Kante as a replacement for the aging Sergio Busquets, and are keen to sign the French midfielder to replace the Spaniard. Kante is currently out with a hamstring injury, but Barcelona have stated that free agents are the way they intend to go in the coming months. Despite the injury issues, Barcelona believe Kante is someone who can do the role Busquets has over the years, and slot straight into the side in a similar ilk to the iconic Spanish midfielder. Chelsea will not offer Kante a contract, and he is expected to see out the remainder of his deal and leave the club next summer on a free. Juventus also have interest in the midfielder, who would love to stay in London if possible. Inter Milan pay €7.8 million balance to Chelsea for Romelu Lukaku loan. Inter Milan and Chelsea agreed a loan deal worth €10 million in the summer for Romelu Lukaku, and Inter Milan have today confirmed that they have paid the balance of that loan to Chelsea, in the sum of €7.8 million. Lukaku is on loan for the season, and there could be options for the player to stay another season, as it does look for all the world like his Chelsea career is all but over. Inter Milan have intentions to extend the loan, and it could certainly be something that happens between all parties. As reported by Fabrizio Romano, Inter Milan have paid the €7.8 million balance they owed Chelsea for Romelu Lukaku. The balance has been paid and there is nothing more to be done in the loan deal on the financial side. The loan, however, could be extended. Inter Milan are keen, and Romelu Lukaku's wish was always to come back to Inter Milan. All parties are said to want the same thing, which is expected to be the extension of the loan deal. It is unlikely that Romelu Lukaku will ever feature for Chelsea again, and his return really didn't work out in the way he envisioned it. A return to Inter Milan on a full transfer, which could be a possible outcome in the end, may soften that blow. An extended loan is possible, but for now, Inter Milan are all paid up. Chelsea interested in Manchester United target Jeremie Frimpong. Manchester United have well-documented interest in Bayer Leverkusen right-back Jeremie Frimpong, but may face competition from Chelsea for his signature if they do decide to move for the Dutch defender. United and Chelsea seem to have similar targets across the board, with both clubs interested in Denzel Dumfries and Benjamin Sesko as well as Frimpong. Chelsea are looking for cover for Reece James. Manchester United could move for Frimpong in January, and Chelsea may have to be ready if they do really want the player. According to journalist Jack Talbot, Manchester United and Chelsea are interested in the signature of Bayer Leverkusen defender Jeremie Frimpong, who is regarded as one of the top right-backs in the Bundesliga. Both United and Chelsea are looking for cover for their right-back, and a player like Frimpong fits the system of both Erik ten Hag and Graham Potter. Both managers like pacey defenders who are progressive with the ball, and Frimpong ticks all them boxes. The price tag would not be an extravagant one, but they will have to pay around £25 million or a bit more of the signature of the Dutch right-back. Erik ten Hag being Dutch could have a bit of sway in the deal, but anything can happen. It will be an interesting race if Chelsea decide to join it, and even more interesting to see where Frimpong chooses. I'm the same as you guys. Trevoh Chalobah on dealing with pressure. It can be mentally difficult for any player when breaking into the first team, and Trevoh Chalobah is no different. The young defender recently spoke about just how difficult it was and what sort of steps he has undertaken to better deal with this new reality. He first mentioned just how hard it was mentally in his debut season. People don't know what footballers are going through. People think we're superhumans. I was dealing with anxiety towards the start of last season, playing at a big club, 40,000 every week, the Champions League winning team the year before. It was tough. The defender finished by sharing how he dealt with these new feelings. I don't get it now, I've dealt with it, it was just talking to my family really, we're all really close. People think we don't get affected by what people say. I'm the same as you guys. It is encouraging to hear a prominent player speak about matters such as this. Given this development as well as his recent performances, things are looking up for the young defender after a subpar start to the campaign.